And here's your host, Dan Druff.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Druff Show. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks. All right, seriously, guys, stop. Okay, thank you. Tonight we have a very special guest, Dr. Jonas from God knows where was able to bring back his favorite German dictator. Without further ado, here is...
Du, und ich hab nichts gesagt.
Adolf Hitler, everybody!
Thank you.
So, welcome, Hitler. Welcome to the show. We brought you here tonight not to hear about your World War II shenanigans or your anti-Semitic feelings or even your fascist beliefs. Because anybody can pick up a history book and read about that, right, guys?
Yeah! That is correct.
Alright, but no, we want to hear it from your side of the story, the other half of Hitler. So let's start with the early years. How was it?
Well, it was very, very interesting. You see, my father died when I reached the age of 14. And I quit school at the age of 16. And from there, I began to pursue my love of the fine arts. I would travel around to operas, art shows, anything I could, and began to draw.
Really?
I would draw pictures day and night. And my dream was shattered in half when I was denied entrance into the School of Fine Arts in Vienna, Austria, twice. It was a horrible experience. Soon after that, my mother passed away, and I was left with no one.
Wow, that's just quite an awful childhood. What did you do after all this disappointment and suffering?
7 years later, I answered the call of fighting for my country. Even though I was born in Austria, I felt a certain commitment, a pride in Germany. I read about its power and its triumph throughout history, and I fell in love with it. I volunteered to fight in World War I, and I was put into a Bavarian regiment. I remember it almost as though it was yesterday.
I was at first able to avoid death and injury for my first couple years of combat. But then I suffered my first wound in the leg from the fragment of an artillery shell. Soon after this, I've recovered. But unfortunately, I was temporarily blinded by the enemy's mustard gas.
Whoa! This is some nice graphics.
I was given the Iron Cross after my achievements as a foot soldier in World War I. After hearing the news of Germany's great defeat, I was infuriated at the Allies for embarrassing Germany in the way that they did. This was a grave mistake, because now I not only wanted to regain power, I wanted to get revenge.
You sound really determined right there. That reminds me of this one time at band camp when I was the best tuba player out there. But this week I got sick and I couldn't play anymore. So, you know what I did? Next week, I worked my little keister off and I was the best darn tuba player out there! But anyway, this is about Hitler, not me. So let's hear. How did you restore your power?
Well, after my years of fighting, I joined the German Workers' Party because we had the same anti-Semitic views and I could see myself leading this party into power. In 1920, I renamed this party the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party as it is known. As a leader, I began recruiting members and supporters and tried to take over the Bavarian government with the whole beer hall push incident. But let us not talk about that. I was caught and sentenced to 5 years in prison. It was there that I began writing the novel Mein Kampf.
Those who want to live, let them fight. And those who do not want to fight in this world of eternal struggle do not deserve to live. Germany will either be a world power or will not be at all. Life never forgives weaknesses. I can tell that this will be a masterpiece.
For everyone in the audience tonight, we have a very special gift. Yeah, you guys may be wondering what I got you this time. Yeah, copies of Mein Kampf for everyone. Alright, well, everyone here has a pretty good understanding of what happened when you got out of jail. You rose to power, your Nazi party became stronger, and you were a fascist dictator. And you even started taking over Europe with the whole World War II thing. But what the audience and I really want to know is what happened behind the scenes?
Well, I actually would like to share a few things. Firstly, I was pronounced Time magazine's Man of the Year in 1938. Many people were shocked and surprised by this decision. Hitler for Man of the Year, usually it isn't goody two-shoes lollipop, but no. I was Man of the Year because I changed the world. I was taking over countries in Europe and I had begun my sovereignty. But this title belonged to me and no one else.
Wow, Time Magazine, Man of the Year? That's impressive, nice job. That reminds me, just the other day, one of my buddies, Arthur, gets pulled over, and little did I know, he had crack cocaine in his trunk. Yeah, crack cocaine, I said it. But yeah, I thought he was a good guy, he turned out bad. You're a bad guy, but you got something good for it, nice job. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, yes, actually. I'm sure you have all heard of the punch buggy. Well, I did not design the exact car, but it was my vision and came from a model that I designed. After I rose to power, I began thinking of a car that would be for the average German man and affordable to everyone. I named it the Craftersfreudwagen.
Sorry.
Well, anyways, I envisioned that everyone could own and enjoy these things that come with a car. Unfortunately, soon after I opened the factory to create these cars, I had to convert it to produce wartime materials. I committed suicide before my dream could become a reality, but I see that everywhere on the streets these days, cars come from the models that I designed. Volkswagen means car of the people, and that is what I envisioned before my death.
Speaking of suicide, what happened?
Well...
The Soviets were closing in, and I had already accepted my defeat. I was in the Führer bunker with Eva Braun, my newly wedded wife.
Eva, you have to trust me on this. The Soviets are coming, and they will kill us anyways. Take this pill and die peacefully with me. If Germany cannot survive this war, then neither will I.
Oh wow, that's touching. But it's too bad because that's all the time we have on the Druff Show tonight. I'm your host, Dan Druff. Thank you and good night.